good afternoon. I am your host, Byron Terril of Byron Terril's Opinion, right here on Anchor. And shout out to YouTube as well, man. I'm gonna get a little bit into Kevin Samuels real quick. And I just want people to understand that, hey, man, jokes about the death ain't what it is, man. And again, this is Byron Terril's Opinion, so I'm just giving y'all just that. I think once they hit the death part, once somebody is completely checked out and they out of here, it's absolutely no reason for us to keep putting nails in the coffin. It's like they're gone. They don't exist anymore. You know what I mean? They don't exist anymore, and here we are still trying to manipulate the situation and make people feel happy that somebody is deceased. But what it does, it makes me feel like, well, this guy ruffled so many feathers that they had to talk about this man and his death. And it's like, was it truth to what he was saying about some of y'all that are so bitter that you are talking about this man and his death? So it makes me feel like it had to be a little bit of truth there. It got under some people's skin or anything, because how could you? I mean, once a person is no longer here, you good. Like, I can't overkill. They gone. There's nothing worse than death. So to keep talking about somebody in a negative way that no longer exists, it's like, how mad did he make you? How mad did he make you? Now, I'm not gonna sit up here and sugarcoat anything and try to act like he didn't ruffle feathers. What I wanna say is, I believe the way that he chastised women completely overshadowed what he was trying to do. And I'm gonna play a clip here in a little bit to elaborate on what he was trying to do. Now, we all know how the media goes, how the world goes, how the media is, and the things like that. So it's like with Kanye, right? I'll use Kanye as an example. There was a lot of clips that came out about Kanye, and it made him look a certain way. So what I would do is I would look at the clip, I would figure out where it comes from, right? And then what I would do is go and listen. I would go and listen to exactly what was being said before and after the small clip that the media puts out. And so I realized that, yes, watching just this small clip, it gives me a different mindset. It gives me a different vision of this person. So when I go and watch the whole clip, before and after that little small piece, I don't look at him the same anymore. So yeah, it's like, that's what I did a lot with Kevin. Like Kevin, they would take the clips of him dogging women and post those. And of course, there's no, well, it is a right and wrong way to do things, but there's no right and wrong way to chastise somebody. Because once you chastise somebody, that's exactly what you're doing. You can't do that wrongly. You can't do that in the right way. There's no manner for it. So after watching them, and it's like, and I kid you not, I don't want y'all to start looking at me like Kevin, but I kid you not, man. The things that some of these women would say, and men, because that's another thing that they kept out. I don't know what this world is trying to do, wink, wink. But that's another thing that they kept out, is the fact that he never said nothing to men, apparently. that wasn't even true. I found a lot of clips of him talking to men and giving men just as much criticism as he give women. So, but anyway, back to what I was saying. When you look at the whole clip, it's like, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to admit it. Some of you women were asking for it. The stuff that y'all was saying when y'all the ones y'all called in to get treated by this dude, by the way. He didn't seek out women to poke at. Y'all called in, and some of the stuff that y'all would say, man, it's like, how can he not treat you? How can he not? And then I thought about a lot of things that people do and say, and it's like, he's doing a lot of stuff that most of y'all want to do. If you had a podcast or a show or something like that, most of y'all want to get people together like that call with nonsense and craziness. But what I like about Kevin is it's like that real friend. I'm going to keep it real with you. See, what they wanted Kevin to do is like a wife and a husband, right? When the wife asks, does my ass look fat in this dress? Well, for black people, we want to say yes. We like a fat, we like a big booty. You know what I'm saying? So they're expecting us to be like, yeah, that ass look, that's what they expect. Whereas Kevin would tell the truth, like, no, you don't, that dress does not make you look, most of us can't do that. And so being blatantly honest was his downfall, because I'm going to admit he did it in a disrespectful way, but he was blatantly honest. And a lot of the things that he said were true. But anyway, check out this clip that I found on Kevin trying to explain what he was actually trying to do. And he actually dogged himself, because a lot of y'all people be like, well, what? You ain't perfect. He actually got on himself as well in this clip, and I want you guys to check it out. Watch this.
I need to really say this. I take no particular pride or pleasure in doing shows like this, because I know it triggers certain black women. I know they do. I know some of them get pissed. I've heard women on YouTube saying things that they don't watch the show end to end. And I'm not going to, and that's not going to change anything, because there are far more women and far women who are listening. And who are the recipients? The women who listen end to end and are saying, well, you've changed my life, you've helped me look at this way or that way. Those women are benefiting. And guarantee when those women come into contact with men doing something, they all benefit. We're better off working with each other, trying to understand one another. None of us are perfect. Certainly not me. I ain't shit. I got a lot of problems. It's like anybody else. We all got issues. But it's like Ice Cube. When the brother steps up to do something, support. Find ways to support. Even if you have an issue with something it's doing, can you find 4 or 5 things about it that you like before you start off with the one thing you don't like? Because you cannot keep painting black men in this ain't shit box. They don't all fit there. And brothers are starting to push back and say, no, 51% of us are single and childless and 64% in the middle class. They're here. Can you interact with them just in a peaceful, civil way? If you never get married and never have kids, can you have a higher quality of life? Can you just be happy? Can you stop walking through life with your hands up ready to fight the reflection of you? The opposite sex reflection of you. I don't walk through life looking at black women as though they're my enemy. And I would hope that for the black women who this applies, you stop walking through life assuming that black men are somebody to challenge, somebody to overcome, to struggle against. We don't need that.
You have it, and I think that is probably one of the clips that I would have hoped that majority of the world would have saw. And from that clip, it's like, I get you, bro, but I can't ignore the fact of what a lot of women are saying and how you chastise them. But again, I recommend that all of y'all watch the clips from beginning to the end, and I understand some of those women were asking for it, but him being a black man trying to mend so many hurt women and men, and trying to see that we need to support each other, I think a lot of tactics that he used just wasn't fitting for what he was trying to do. But still in all, rest in peace, man. You gone now. I have nothing negative to say about the deceased. They no longer exist. You know, I don't overkill. But shout out to the positivity, to the positive light, to positive side of what he was trying to do. With that being said, man, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. And I hope your family finds closure. And I hope your children finds closure. And I hope that they don't see a lot of the negative things that people are saying. I hope that they can deal with it. And I agree, sometimes we make our own bed, but man, when a person is gone, let them rest. In death, they will understand what they were and how they were on this earth, if that makes sense to people. But anyway, I'm Byron Terril, man, of Byron Terril's Opinion. Check out the show today, and of course, it's going to be on all podcast platforms, as well as YouTube as well. We just started getting into the video thing, but it will be on all podcast platforms today. And if you just want to hear a few things, of course, on my podcast, I play music as well on my podcast. Of course, y'all know the legal laws and things like that. I can't do that on YouTube. But if you check me out on Spotify, you will get a chance to hear some of my music playback. It's almost like a radio show on Spotify. So on Spotify, my show is almost like a radio show because they allow me to play music because of the deal, the contract that I have with Spotify through my podcasting. So it's almost like a radio show, and a lot of people like to check me out on Spotify because of the music. But other than that, man, Byron Terril, appreciate y'all for listening to me. I'm out.